Hi, I'm Dave. ADHD can sometimes feel like living with an invisible weight tied to your ankle. Why? Because compared to what's considered normal, your mind can throw you into complete chaos, fast. If you don't find a way to manage it, ADHD has a way of steering people into some pretty dark places. Higher rates of addiction, struggles with employment, failed relationships, abandoned goals, and for too many, even shorter lives. It's like most people start the game at level 1 while you feel stuck at negative levels, trying to dig your way back just to get started. But here's the twist. If you learn how to manage ADHD the right way, it can actually become your secret weapon. Many of the most successful people in the world have ADHD, not in spite of it, but because they learned how to use it to their advantage. And today, I'm going to show you how you can do the same. If you stick with me, I'll walk you through 3 steps that can completely change how ADHD plays out in your life. But before we get into that, let's look at why ADHD often feels like an all-or-nothing ride. Think about it. With ADHD, you're rarely in the middle. You're either going hard at something or avoiding it completely. You eat super clean or binge junk food. You exercise like a pro or not at all. Your days are either brilliant or disastrous. That's because ADHD isn't about being lazy or careless. It's about a wiring difference where motivation and focus swing between extremes. There's no steady cruise control, which is why life can feel like constant highs and lows. If you don't understand how to steer this, those lows pile up. One bad day snowballs into the next, and before you know it, you feel trapped, isolated, and hopeless, as if your future has already been written for you. But what if, instead of stacking up the bad days, you could stack up the good ones? What if progress could snowball in your favor? That's where ADHD turns into an advantage. And people have proven it. Athletes, entertainers, entrepreneurs, you name it. They've turned ADHD from a struggle into a superpower by making deliberate choices. And so can you. You can either stay where you are, stuck in patterns that hold you back, or take small, intentional steps that completely flip the script. So let's talk about those steps. Each one builds on the last, so make sure you take in the whole picture. Step 1. Break free from chasing quick fixes. If you're watching this, chances are you know what I'm talking about. Those mornings where you instantly grab your phone, scroll endlessly, and before you know it, half your energy is gone before the day even starts. When I was diagnosed 7 years ago, I realized that nearly every problem ADHD dropped into my life was tied to my constant chase for instant stimulation. It resets every morning. Think about it. When you wake up, what's the very first thing you do? Do you check notifications, or do you do something grounding, like making your bed or jumping in the shower? Those tiny actions might feel minor, but they're actually the first fork in the road. Start with quick fixes, and your mind will keep craving them all day long. Start with a small win, and you build momentum that snowballs into bigger wins. It's like stacking dominoes. The first one sets the direction for the whole chain. If you've ever had those mornings where you lie in bed, restless, already overwhelmed before you even start, you know how paralyzing that feels. But here's the shift. Don't try to think 20 steps ahead. Just focus on one step. Get out of bed, then take a shower, then make the bed. Notice how each little action lifts you higher instead of dragging you lower. For ADHD, momentum is everything, and the way you begin your day can make or break it. Step 2. Choose the right fuel. Starting the morning right is huge, but it's not enough, because if most of your daily activities are draining you, you'll still slide back into the same cycle. Here's what most people don't realize. ADHD runs on interest. We thrive when we're engaged, and we shut down when we're not. As kids, we excelled in classes we loved and tanked in the ones we didn't. That doesn't magically disappear in adulthood. The key is figuring out what activities refuel you and which ones deplete you. Think of them as side quests in your life. Some recharge your battery, like connecting with friends who get you, playing a sport you enjoy, or diving into a hobby that lights you up. Others drain it, like spending time with people who don't align with you or forcing yourself into roles that feel fake. Here's an easy test. After doing something, do you feel energized and satisfied? Or do you immediately crave more stimulation? Fast food, drinks, endless scrolling, just to feel better. If it's the latter, those activities are draining you, and it's time to swap them out for ones that actually refill your tank. This doesn't mean life has to be hard or forced. Quite the opposite. The secret is making healthy, long-term dopamine sources the easy choice, while making the draining stuff harder to access. Redesign your environment, align with your genuine interests, and stop abandoning your authentic self. Because for ADHD, authenticity isn't optional, it's survival. Step 3. Align your mission. This is where everything clicks. Too many of us end up in in jobs or routines that feel safe but suffocating. When that happens, we burn ourselves out chasing stimulation in unhealthy ways after hours, whether it's parties, games, or anything else that numbs us. But that's not real fuel. It's like pouring water into a bucket full of holes. What we actually need is a mission, not just a career, not just a paycheck, but something bigger than us that pulls us forward naturally. When you have that, the right choices don't feel forced anymore. They feel obvious. The beauty of ADHD is that once we're deeply interested in something, we can tap into hyperfocus, the kind of flow state where hours disappear in what feels like minutes. That's where the so-called curse flips into an advantage. For me, that mission became creating content full-time. I've stuck with it consistently for over 3 years because it's something I want to do, not something I force myself into. For you, it could be anything: writing, art, coaching, entrepreneurship. The trick is to find what sparks your curiosity, then let that curiosity guide you. From there, craft your personal why. Ask yourself, what am I contributing? Who am I impacting? And why does it matter? When you find an answer that feels real, you've unlocked the foundation of a life where ADHD becomes an edge instead of an obstacle. So here's the truth. ADHD doesn't have to be a life sentence. It's not about beating yourself into normal. It's about creating systems where interest and momentum carry you forward. Small wins in the morning, meaningful activities during the day, and a bigger mission pulling you into the future. That's how you stop sinking and start rising. That's how ADHD becomes your unfair advantage.